They say there were once two women, one from the north, one from the south. One with a house, a husband, a life arranged just so. The other with a child, a grief, and nowhere particular to go. They were never supposed to meet, and maybe that's why when they did, neither of them could walk away clean. The woman from the north, let's call her Mona, had built her life like a well-kept home, every day closed, every window latched. She had been a singer once, before her husband decided she shouldn't be, before quiet became easier than conflict, before she learned that keeping the peace sometimes means swallowing the thing that troubles you the most. One afternoon, driving through a part of the city she didn't belong in, something happened. A man died, partly because of her, and Mona made a choice. She paid the right people, she went home, she said nothing, and life stayed exactly as it was. The woman from the south, Julia, had been left with a son she was raising alone and a grief with no name because no one would tell her exactly how her husband died. She sold bread on the side of the road. She asked few questions. She carried what she had to carry, the way people do when they have no choice but to keep moving. And then one day, a woman pulled up to her roadside stall, bought everything she had, and offered her a home. Julia said yes, because what else do you say when someone offers you shelter and you do not yet know the price? And so, they lived under the same roof, at the same table, in the same days. North and South, employer and employee. Two women who, against every reason, started to know each other. Julia brought something into that house that hadn't been there before. Music, laughter, this kind of lightness that doesn't ask permission. And Mona, for the first time in a long time, started to breathe a little differently. But underneath all of it, underneath the warmth, the meals shared, the evenings that almost felt like friendship, the secret was still there. Mona knew what she had done. Julia did not. And the country around them was beginning to split in two. There is something the old stories know that we sometimes forget. A secret kept long enough doesn't stay hidden. It changes shape. The world outside was fracturing, violence at the gate, people disappearing, sides being chosen, and Mona watched it all from inside her arranged life, still saying nothing. But things that are pressed together long enough, under enough heat, either hold or they come apart entirely. They say the thing about two people bound by a secret is that the secret becomes the third person in the room. It sits between them at dinner. It sleeps in the walls of the house. It waits. I made these parties because I couldn't stop thinking about them. Two ingredients that have no business being in the same bowl, pressed into the same shape, cooked by the same heat. And once that happens, you can't really call them separate things anymore. That's Mona and Julia, that's North and South. That's what a secret does to two people who might have otherwise been just strangers. They held each other through happiness and through deceit. And I won't tell you how it ends, because if you want to know what happens to those two women, go and watch Goodbye Julia, directed by Mohamed Kordofani, which is Sudan's first film at Cannes. The full recipe is in the description. See you next week.